Let's start. All right, guys, good morning. Good morning to all of you. And my name is Tosif. So, let's start the session. Uh, we have maximum participant joined. So, let's start, not waste the time. All right, guys. Welcome to another exciting and power-packed sessions brought to you by Hacknow. That is like India's fastest growing service now learning ecosystem where we just don't train people, we transfer them careers as well. Okay. So at Hacknow, we are on mission to make sure that service now becomes very simple and accessible and a result-driven approach to all people who are learning, who are a fresher, who are experienced, and we are really working to focus bridging the gap between the service now talent and the global industry demand. Okay. So whether you are a fresher aiming to launch your tech career or an experienced IT professional looking forward to upgrade to ServiceNow technology. So Hacknow is your launchpad where we are offering you corporate trainings to achieve the business goals. We are into technical supports for ServiceNow implementation projects from companies. So we are also into one-on-one mentorship where we are giving the industry's expert trainers for providing the trainings. So we are also into real-world projects that mirror exactly the client challenges that we have in day-to-day life. So we are also into advanced courses like ITOM, ITSM, HRSD, CSM, and GenAI. So whatever service is upcoming with a lot of advanced modules these days. So we are also a part of those modules and lifetime access to community forums, recordings, job support, placement drives, um, workshop sessions with MVP, and a lot more. Okay. So what Hacknow is set for us is like it's just not a part of content, but a community first approach. We like used to do like the customized learning paths, live instructor led sessions, hands-on trainings, workshops, and mock interview sessions that we are taking. So next 3 to 4 days, again, I will be taking sessions for people for mock interviews, resume preparations for our internal candidates who have joined with us in the past, and we are also providing support, post-training job support. So, and collaborative environment where learners become leaders. So today we have honored to host a legend in the ServiceNow ecosystem, someone who perfectly aligns with Hacknow's visions of excellence. So before I hand over the session to Prashant, so I would like to introduce some a key person of this workshop, like Shah Abir. So he is a managing director of Hacknow and also a chief momentum officer at Hacknow. So he's based in Pune location. So talking something about the professional experience of Shah. So Shah is an CSS certified as well as CAD certified. He has experience working with ServiceNow ITOM, especially into discovery and CMDB with a decade of experience. And he has led a lot of programs and the trainings around 60 plus organizations. And he has also acted as a trainer with big companies like Deloitte, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra. So, as a managing director, he has led strategic growth, custom training programs, client engagement, and a team performance. So, previously, he was working as a ServiceNow developer and consultant in Mindtree, handling custom applications, REST integrations, and workflow. So, he has also served as a corporate trainer into Vedantu, training over 1,000 participants of a corporate and individual people, helping drive ServiceNow adoption in companies like Tech Mahindra and Goldman Sachs. So, key achievements for him has he has delivered a lot of ServiceNow trainings to global MNC companies, improve of operational efficiencies. He has built a high-performing training program, consulting teams, and consulting programs. So, we are really absolute thrilled to have all of you here as we are diving into a topic that forms the backbone of every successful ServiceNow developer, that is JavaScript for ServiceNow. So whether you are just starting your journey or looking to sharpen your skills about scripting, today's session is designed to be your launchpad to mastering ServiceNow scripting. So, and leading us today is someone who is truly needs no introduction at all, but deserves one way, that is Mr. Prashant Kumar. So, before I hand over the session to Prashant, let me introduce something in brief about Prashant. So, I'm really thrilled to announce that he is a part of Hack Now. So, he is the host. He's the guest for us, where we are hosting him, and the name resonates with excellence, dedications, and leadership in the ServiceNow ecosystem. So please join me in welcoming Prashant Kumar. Also, he is known as the ServiceNow Explorer. So Prashant is just not a professional. He is a two times ServiceNow MVP in the year 2023 and 2024, a ServiceNow senior architect and a respected mentor where people love him a lot across a social platform, and the powerhouse behind the popular learning platform LearnIT by Prashant. So he has over 28,000 followers across YouTube and other platforms, and he is very actively engaged in social platform over the weekend, over the weekdays, and he is taking care of all the participants with his bottom of his heart. So with 10 years of experience, he has 14 CIS mainline certification and 16 suite certifications with impressive stack of micro certifications and unbelievable pre-sales accreditation. So Prashant is one of the most versatile experts in this field, and we are really honored him to introduce on our platform. So from ITSM, ITOM, FSM, SAM, Discovery, a real world service architecture experience he has done and knacked it all of the round. So more than he is guided countless learners and professionals on their journey through mentorship, training, powerful content. So Prashant, we are really honored to have you here at Hacknow as an MVP and a mentor, and we look forward to learning from your insight and experience. Welcome abroad, Prashant. So, guys, let's get ready to level up your skills. As now, I'm handing over this session to Prashant to make this through the magic of scripting on the ServiceNow platform. Over to you, Prashant.
Yeah, so I think thank you for a wonderful introduction. So it's really nice to see lot many people over the weekend as well. So I think that's really interesting thing. So people are more eager to learn on weekend as well. So it's like the power of community, like how people connect with each other. So I really like the energy like which we are delivering this morning. So from North India, the summer is going on, and from other parts there might be raining, and some other parts there might be some chilling season as well. So so it's all around like people are joining from across the globe in India with different seasons, different people, and different ecosystem. So I think thank you everyone for joining us. And related to my introduction, so I think Shah has already introduced myself, but I would like to introduce little bit about myself as well. So I am Prashant. So basically, I have around 10 years of experience. So in 2015, I have been introduced in ServiceNow platform. So my journey was really interesting. So I have started from Calgary version of ServiceNow. So at that time, people know who might be working from more than 10 years. They might know what is the Calgary version and how the instance used to be at that point of time. So it's like a lot of things has changed from that time to till now. So at that time when we talk about development, so it was more about writing so much of scripting and generating a lot of customization within ServiceNow platform. So I would like to I have seen the ServiceNow growing like anything. Like previously, instance was used to very slow and very less features support is available. inside ServiceNow system. But year by year, ServiceNow has grown a bit higher on every aspect, like whether we talk about ITSM, whether we talk about HR, CSM, FSM, and they have stepped into multiple industries. If we talk about IT side or any security perspective, so ServiceNow has stretched their arms for all the products where it could be utilized in some organizations. So I think it's really interesting from ServiceNow. And now, if we talk about current situation, so they have adopted the use of AI. So there are a lot of AI things coming on with all the modules of ServiceNow. So there is some features with related to AI. So I'm not going to cover that AI part because already a lot of AI talks is happening from past 1 year. So I am here to talk about ServiceNow scripting. So like ServiceNow scripting, when it comes to ServiceNow scripting or customization, so people generally think like they have to write huge amount of scripts in ServiceNow, because many people like try to jump from other technologies like from Java, .NET or Python. So many people are migrating towards ServiceNow while they was working in older technologies. So I think that is also good. They try to see, okay, ServiceNow is the latest technology or the platform which is emerging at a large scale in every aspect of the company. So I think ServiceNow scripting or customization also play a major role. So why I'm talking about major role? Because previously the company you intentionally want to write customization or write some scripting or create flow there, right? But these days it is not necessary to every time write a scripting also. So although scripting is available for everyone to write any type of scripting, like they can utilize or generate array or generate any loops in ServiceNow. So that is not restricted, but ServiceNow has provided a lot of things which you can do as part of configuration also. And and now why I'm talking about configuration, though our session is all about the scripting part. So why I'm talking, because a lot of people thinks we have to write scripts all the time within ServiceNow. So that's not the case. Like you have to write a script every time. So I think writing a script is required when the requirement is such like you cannot build anything without writing a script. So at that point of time, the requirement come, okay, we should write some script and we should implement something inside ServiceNow and then showcase it to customer. So customer specific things. So customer also thinks like their system should be low code and no code system, but it is not completely possible for no code and low code, because there might be some customization coming on from the client. Okay, we have to do something like that, and you have to build some business rule. So you will write some business rule and you will write some lines of codes there, right? So writing lines of code will will make sure, okay, the requirement is fulfilled what the customer is looking for, right? So if we talk about ServiceNow scripting, it is mandatory. So ServiceNow tells like low code and no code, but I tell, if you want to be a developer in ServiceNow terms or ServiceNow platform, you should be able to write some amount of scripts in ServiceNow. And the most important part is you don't have to learn a lot of things. It's just like your concept should be clear in terms of for loop, in terms of if loop, in terms of while loop, how you should use it so that your script doesn't run infinite loops, or it doesn't run in a wrong way so that your system goes down, right? So there are a lot of things we need to take care in terms of ServiceNow. So now let us talk about ServiceNow scripting more deeply. So if we talk about ServiceNow scripting, so it is one of the important aspect of ServiceNow development, right? And what it ServiceNow scripting deals with is like ServiceNow deals with database tables. So whatever tables present in the system, like query, update, delete, anything, any event that is occurred, the ServiceNow scripting can be executed, or we can validate the data, or writing some log files, or we can prompt users with different alerts, confirmation messages, and we can trigger workflows, flow, schedule job, events, and as well as we can integrate it with third-party system. So using REST message, there also we can write some amount of scripting so that our connection happens with third-party system, right? So ServiceNow API means again you have to write some customization or scripting in terms of ServiceNow platform, right? So this is like a basic thing into ServiceNow scripting, why it is required, and the most important thing is like we should not think scripting all the time. Like if suppose some requirement is coming, we have to understand the process first, and then we need to figure out whether that specific use case, how we can fulfill it in a easiest way, because we have ServiceNow upgrade happening every year, every 6 months or every year, and you will face some challenges while upgrade also if you have big amount of customizations, right? So it's better to analyze the requirement first and then write the scripts. All right. So if we talk about other thing like why we have to utilize scripting. So suppose we have to automate some repeated task, like repetitive task means some catalog item is raised, right? And there are multiple levels of approvals based on some fields, right? So that time we can write a script, or we can validate or manipulate data. At that time, script can be executed. We can integrate it with external systems, and we can increase user experience as well. All right. So, so am I clear to everyone? Like what I have explained till now? Hope I am not going so fast because I have my speed in that way only. But I just want to check if everybody is okay. All right, so let's proceed further and see what type of scripting in ServiceNow it is present. So types of ServiceNow scripting. So basically, in terms of scripting, we talk. So there are two types of scripting: client side and server side. Right, server side scripting is mostly utilized within ServiceNow system, right? And this ServiceNow server side scripting is the highest stakeholder for doing any customization in the system, be it business rule, be it script include, be it workflow, or be it flow designer, right? So we have script actions, flow script, inbound action, and integrations, and many more things inside server side script. And client side scripting, it generally runs on browser level, and it controls the UI and the form behaviors. And the examples are client script, UI policies, UI script, catalog client script. There are UI actions. So UI action is special type of utility, so which runs both on server side and client side. So this is the very good utility. So this also is utilized in automating various things in ServiceNow. All right. So let me share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see my screen. So we are going with this path. So I think client side, server side script we talked about. So this play very important role because while implementing anything, so we know like ServiceNow on cost perspective it is high on higher side, but our customer think okay they have paid a good amount, so they should customize the system. So ideology behind that is they are paying, so they want every customization to be done in ServiceNow. If they told okay we have to hide something, we have to execute something, so it is mandatory, they have to do it, right? And while doing that, people try to utilize every aspect inside ServiceNow. So we have all right. So why so if we talk about ServiceNow scripting, so people generally have a talk like what kind of scripts people generally use it, right? So uh, we have JavaScript as a baseline, right? So as a baseline JavaScript, and it is basically the best thing because people generally try to learn Java, .NET, and programming languages basically. But JavaScript is a such kind of a style which we can learn it, and it is very easy to be utilized inside ServiceNow. And it doesn't require any concept. It just requires the logic. Logic is the important part while writing script in ServiceNow. Why I'm telling that? Because we have a lot of performance issues within ServiceNow system. So those performance can impact your system, and your customer will say, okay, what you have done, what script you have written, the instance became slow. So you will get such kind of comments from your customer. So at that point of time, what will happen? You have to debug what you have written, or what for loop while loop you are not writing in a correct way, right? So it is very necessary to make sure whether our scripting is added correctly or scripting logics is implemented on a correct way, right? So this is very important in terms of ServiceNow scripting. So sometime back I talked about client side and server side. So we have our glide APIs, so which is recommended to be utilized under server side mostly. We have some APIs for client side, but while querying towards the table side, we should not utilize client side scripting. We should always choose to execute server side scripting. Why? Because the client side scripting will hold your form, and you will not be able to perform anything until the execution happens. And sometimes it will not respond to your specific page, right? So for doing that, we have to make sure some of the glide APIs should be executed only on server side, and the basic client side API like gform or guser should be used on client side only. So this will not impact on performance side much, right? So performance will not be impacted on a higher node. So now we will jump into client side scripting, and we will talk about something inside client side scripting. So we have client-side scripting. So why client-side scripting? So client-side scripting is a major thing which take part on UI form or form level changes. Like you can set the field as read-only, mandatory, or visibility, and many more things like display value, clear value, set visible. Lot of things you can perform using client script. So it's it's not like you should not use it. You should use it, but only for a specific purpose, not for writing some glide record, not for querying any database query, right? So it is not at all recommended to be utilized under client-side scripting. So it's better to query those tables under server-side scripting. So client-side scripting, you have to be much sure on writing any scripting logics. If you are writing for loop, while loop, that is also not recommended in client-side scripting. You can write it on server side. You have full authority to write, but you have to take care whether your scripting doesn't go in a loop, because your system will get down and you have to remove your scripts. All right. So you should follow some of the best practice inside client side also. So client side mostly has a lot of things to be keep in mind. Like you should not utilize highly customized script there. You should not utilize glide record there. And one more important thing, you should define what your client side script is doing. All right. So you have to avoid heavy operations on client side, and you have to use glide record efficiently. So that means you should not use glide record mostly in client side execution. So you should only use your client script on a specific site. So the important thing, you should comment your code. And one more thing, so there can be a question like, if suppose we want to execute client side server side execution from client side, so there is a way to do that. So you can utilize script include, you can utilize asynchronous script like glide ajax, which can be accessed from the client side, right? And the important part, client side, yeah, so these all things you have to keep in mind while writing your client side scripting. All right, so if we talk about server side scripting, so mostly it runs on server side, and it will execute on database records. So it could be like existing data, or the data can be queried from your server side scripting. So be it a business rule, be it script include, schedule job, script action, flow script, inbound email actions, and workflow flow, everywhere we are running the server side scripting under UI actions. So similar kind of best practice you have to follow under server side also. But here we have some more capability that can be utilized to execute or perform any customization in ServiceNow. All right. So now we have discussed about client side scripting and server side scripting, and what is the best practice and what we should use, what we should not use. Now, if we talk about client side scripting, so I think I will make a pause here for 2 minutes, and I will start again, and I will talk about what are the types of client script, what are the types of business rule, and how well it is utilized in ServiceNow. So there will be a 2 minutes uh, break from my side, and then if you have any question, you can note it down. We will take it further as well. So we will be back in 2 minutes again, because I might be telling, and you should not get bored much on ServiceNow scripting side, right? So I think I will be back in 2 minutes, and then you can ready with your questions or anything, whichever you want it to be asked. So we will take the Q&A part at the last. Meanwhile, you can just provide your questions. So yeah, so I am back again. So hopefully you guys have noted some questions for me. The question will be taken at last. So we were talking about types of script recently, and now I will jump into server side, client side script initially, and talk about what all kinds of scripts ServiceNow script in terms of client side is there. So under client side script, we have different type of client script like on load, on change, on submit. So these three are mostly utilized. So there is on salaried client script as well. So that is also there, but it is not utilized much, right? And I will show you in my personal developer instance as well, how those type of client script are sees in your system and how you can use it. So under scripting side of client script, we have multiple types. And if we talk about other client side execution, we have UI policy also, where you don't have to write any lines of code inside ServiceNow. It's just like you have to create the UI policy actions there and your job will be done, right? So that is also a nice option. And there also we can write a script. Suppose you want to write actions and as well as scripts. So you can utilize UI policy action and UI policy script. So there will be a checkbox. I will show you. Let me open my PDI and then I will show you how it looks. And these two things, yeah. So other thing is like on client side, we can execute our UI action as well. So it's not mandatory you should write UI action on server side only. You can write it on client side as well, which would be much useful also, because suppose you have to click on any button and you have to do any field read only or mandatory. So you can do using your client side execution, and we can execute a server side execution also on that end. All right. So let me share my screen. So this is my screen. And now I would like to open client script utilities. UI policies. So there are UI policies as well. So these are the client script, existing client script within ServiceNow system. And now there are multiple client script, there are multiple UI policies, and similarly you can search for UI action also. And the important part we need to take care while creating this client script is like you have to select the appropriate table. You have to select the UI type, like you have to execute it on service portal and desktop, and or in both the UI. So this is the important part as well, because there might be a case you have written a client script but it is executing only on a desktop type and it is not working on portal. So you have to select all to be working on desktop and mobile and service portal, right? So you have to select all, and now type will be you on change, on load. So based on that, the script template will load. So if we talk about on submit function will populate. On load function will populate. On change template will load here, and you will find multiple parameters here. Control, old value, new value is loading is template, right? So control parameter. What it does is like it controls the behavior of various fields. And under old value, you will see what would be my old value inside client script while changing field value to new value. Because while selecting type on change, we have to define on which field value change you have to execute this client script. Suppose I will select incident table here. assignment group change. So I am executing something, alert. And now I will save it and I will redirect to our incident form. Open. So there are huge amount of list of incident here. I have opened it. And now our client script is running on change of assignment group. So as soon as I will change my assignment group, I will see the alert popping up. So let me change the value. Suppose I am taking group 1. So the alert is populated as high. So similarly, you can execute lot of things here. You can fetch the old value, you can get the new value, and you can run this on change client script on load also under line number 2 and line number 3. You have to return this. If you return something, your script will run on load as well. All right. And is loading is like while the form is loading, this script will execute. Is template is like we are checking any specific template as part of this client script. So we can check template as well. So now let's jump to UI policy. So UI policy also, you have to select the table name here. And you can define the conditions. You can define the script also as like I mentioned. Here also run script in all and you can write the script. And if suppose I will save this and suppose we have to make a field read only. So we can try to create actions. Assignment group field as mandatory, right? And similar thing can be done using client script, but there we have to write a script. Under client script, you have to write the script like this. The form dot set mandatory. And field name, comma true. That's it. And if we talk about UI actions, so those are the actions which execute on client side and server side. So if I open existing UI actions, so you will see this is the client side code and this is the server side code executing. So for execution of this server side code, you have to write this line of code gsft submit null gform.get element, and then you have to define uh, tpm approve as the parameter to execute in client server side. So you want to know what is TPM approved. So this is the action name. See, so this is the action name. What will happen? This client side will call this one, and client side will call this action. So this action will execute our server side script. All right. So this is the sample one. You can create yours, and if you have anything, you can connect after also. And yeah, so this is all around client side UI policy and UI action. Now we will talk about business rules. So business rule is like the game changer inside ServiceNow. So we have a lot of business rule written inside ServiceNow system. So if I search SS rules, so this is the shortcut. You can just type SS rules, your business rule will open, and you will see huge amount of business rule written in the system, 8,500. So that is the large number of counts for business rules. All right. And business rule, what is the ideology behind business rule? So business rule generally runs on uh, when the from the database query to at the last when the data is retrieved. So there is display business rule, and there is before business rule, after business rule, and at time of delete also we can run our business rule. Insert, update, delete a query, right? And we have query business rule, display business rule. So five, generally there are four kinds, but I generally try to segregate in five types because there is display business rule, and there is this query business rule, and there is before business rule, after business rule, and then async business rule, right? So most of the time you will be utilizing before insert or before insert update, or most of the time while writing a script on integration side, we are utilizing asynchronous business rule because the things should be running on backend. So for that purpose, we have to utilize async business rule so that your work should not be impacted and the things will be running on background, right? So this is really cool in terms of business rule. So if I click on new business rule, and now you can see there are insert, update, delete, query. We don't have display. So display business rule, I will click here. So all this action will disappear under display because display business rule will run just after the record is retrieved from the database and the output is transferred towards client side scripting. So display business rule is utilized in conjunction with onload client script, where we will be utilizing gs underscore scratchpad. So scratchpad is the tag API method which stores the value from display business rule and move it to onload client script. There we can get the value from server side to client side. So this way we have been founded, like we have multiple ways to get the value in client side from server side. One is script include or glide ajax under client side script, and other is display business rule with onload client script utilizing scratchpad, g underscore scratchpad. All right. So it's not required to write a script also inside business rule. Sometimes you can solve your purpose. Suppose like you have to, I will select before insert. Suppose I need to add message and about action. This cannot be done. So here I will write some condition. The table is not selected. So now we can see the condition here, right? And we can about the action and the message will display the error. This cannot be done, right? So it's not every time required to write a script. I have shown you under business rule, right? So this solves the maximum purpose inside ServiceNow. So whenever you talk about customization, only one name will come, uh, business rule or a script include, right? And if we talk about automation, integration, so we talk about workflow and the scripted REST API, scripted REST message, which can be utilized under business rule. So we should make some clarity of thoughts. What will be utilized at what point of time, right? And one of the biggest benefit of flow and workflow. So we can automate the things inside that on whatever way it is required, right? So that is also the good part. And if we talk about, yeah, so we are talking about a script include also we talked about. So it is utilized under client script. So why it is utilized under client script? And we have scratchpad also. So scratchpad only returns the data from the database on existing data, but script include will return your result based on whenever it is asked. It's not like that every time your script include will execute. It runs on demand for managing your various activities or customization in ServiceNow to be executed in a right way, right? So it's really very important to analyze our script, how we are trying to execute it. And we talk about workflow. So old workflow is like deprecated now. And according to ServiceNow, we have to utilize Flow Designer. So under that, we have a lot of options to execute our automations. So there are a lot of things apart from scripting also. So why I'm trying to tell you about it, because customization and the automation, these are two very big things which is utilized while writing a script or writing any customization in ServiceNow. So now you can see we can write, we can create flow, subflow, trigger, actions, and data streams also we have. This is basically for integration part. So you can utilize existing data streams and decision tables. And under operations also we can see what all operations going on under flow, what type of flow is running on, and what is the which flow is running on what speed, or how flow or usage is tracked. So you can check here. And under integration side, we can create our own spoke, or we can utilize out of the spoke as well. So out of the box spoke is generally utilized when purchasing it with the ServiceNow. So client or customer has to purchase those spokes with ServiceNow, or they have to purchase or they have to create it custom. So they can create custom also. So this is the biggest advantage of utilizing flow and automation and with the script. So this is the important part. And now we have multiple debug policies inside ServiceNow. So if you see, we have this debugging and best practices. So we have to utilize log table. We have to utilize our debugging methodologies, like we have debug ACL, debug business rule, and debug ACL also. So that one more aspect is the ACL, where we can write the script. So ACL is like in ACL is much on complex side. There also we can write our script and uh, write some basic configuration. So it's really interesting how you avoid unnecessary things to be written on ACL, right? And try not to create multiple logs. So generally logs is good, but it's not good to you use logs a lot of times in a similar script. So it will not provide you the bigger impact, rather than executing what you are looking exactly with that log. Try to be more meaningful in terms of logs, and try not to increase your lines of code. If suppose there is 30 lines of code written and it can be reduced to 15 lines, try to reduce it to 15 lines to increase the performance of your system. So that is really important for all the developers, for all the script written methodologies, and all the best practice in ServiceNow. So these best practice should be followed each time. Like they should not write a script so that it runs in a loop. And the most important part, performance is the key for writing any ServiceNow scripting, automation, or anything. So try not to write unnecessary codes. Try to remove it. I see many people write 200 lines of code, and while code reviewing it reduced to 50 lines. Just imagine. So why 200 lines of code is required? Similar way, why 20 lines of code is required if it can be reduced to 7-8 lines, right? And one more thing, always try to use a function inside scripting. And one more thing, so there can be a disaster in business rule also. What happens? People write 30, 20, 25, 30 business rule in one particular table. So try not to write multiple business rule in a single table. Try to utilize existing business rules. Try to utilize existing logics. You will definitely find a way. So it will not be a case like if you are doing something and it is of 100% correct use. Try to utilize existing things inside server side scripting. So I generally try not to I generally think people should not write more than 7-8 business rule in a single table. If you are writing it, so you have to find other way also. Why there is a need for writing more than 10 business rules, right? So ask that question yourself while developing the things or while implementing some things for your customer, right? So it is very important to analyze the requirement on top level. Then you can try to see what aspect of ServiceNow scripting you can utilize. We have this debugging tech script debugger. If I click on, see, there are a lot of debugging methodologies. Okay, now we have this script debugger. So you can uh, go towards script tracer also, and then you can trace your script, whatever scripts is running, and what things can be reduced under this. And similarly, we can see the script debugger when we can add the breakpoints, lock points, and your call stack will be generated, right? And this is the best way you can debug your script or trace your script, right? So this is really interesting. When you go deeper on ServiceNow side, you have lot of things, lot of customization, lot of business rule, lot of scripting everywhere, lot of automation everywhere. So you have to make sure you write your script in a best way, right? So if we think about learning, you should try to see some basic concept and then work on your logics. Logic is more important, and then which is required inside ServiceNow, which is not required in ServiceNow. So that is the important part. So you can see we have a lot of debug methodologies, debug security rules, debug scopes, UI macro, SQL, business rule. We can disable all, enable all. Okay, and we can debug UI customization here. We can disable UI customization, disable variable SQL debugger. So when we go deeper on this, we have a large number of hours to be spent inside this for more brief info, right? So it is a really interesting inside ServiceNow to do anything inside scripting. And now, if we talk about mistakes, people generally try to write unnecessary for loop, while loop inside ServiceNow, right? And they have to see the difference while they use similar kind of tags while writing a script. So they should see what kind of a script they are utilizing. It is not leaking any variable or creating any unnecessary infinite loops, and other errors also there might come when you write some big customization code. And yeah, so there could be multiple checks on scripting side, and you can review your code, or your team can review your code, and he can also suggest, okay, we can do something better on our code, right? So now, if you want to go through much detail inside ServiceNow, so on a single call, we can't explain or cover all the aspect. But if you want to learn it, we can definitely connect after, or we can take a offline discussion. if anything is required from your side, right? And definitely the people can keep learning and do anything whatever they want inside ServiceNow. PDI is there, which is available free of cost. So I think that is the important thing, because the most important part is you have to be more vigilant on various things. Like you should be able to write a script, then you should be able to write it in a better way, right? So where is me? Yeah. So I think we can connect. If anyone wants to connect with us, they can connect us, and you can follow me on LinkedIn also, and as well as you can contact our team if you want more detailed insights or you want further discussion on anything, so you can connect with us. And yeah, so do you have any questions, like anyone has any set of questions shared? So because this is like uh, the brief, not much brief intro, because if I talk about ServiceNow scripting, I will talk whole day. Like if we talk about business rules, if we talk about client script, and we talk about script actions, there are huge number of things inside ServiceNow system which you might not be aware, but there are a lot of things and which might take a lot of time, and our time duration will not allow to cover everything, but I have tried to cover all the aspect and what is the use of this and what we should follow to maintain our best practice to write customization and run the automation inside ServiceNow. So I think that's all from my side. So if the people are having any questions, they can drop here.
Guys, you can utilize the chat option and you can drop your questions, queries for Prashant. We have time with us and
Yeah.
we can utilize this time. All right, then, if no questions, we can wind up the session. Prashant, is there anything that you would like to address more, or are you done with your end?
So I think if anyone wants to connect us, they can connect us offline also for anything, or I think you can provide your feedback as well. And it's like I can cover a lot of things, but there are number of hours that will be taking 10-20 hours for each thing to be running in detail. So I have made it crisp and clear, like how we can utilize and what best practice we should follow in terms of writing any customization or the flow automation. So I think follow the best practice as far as what I can tell. And if you want to follow any scripting things, you can follow me on community, you can follow me on LinkedIn, you can follow me anywhere. And the knowledge sharing is always welcome. So any people can make a touch base with me directly over the LinkedIn, over the YouTube channel, over any platform. So I am available all the places, and Shah also is there. So if anyone wants to connect with anything related to their learning, or if they want some end-to-end training with ServiceNow, so they can connect with us, or they can connect offline with us, and then we can proceed further.
Yes, that's right, Prashant. Because this was an introductory session
Yeah,
where Prashant gave then overview about scripting. Because as you know, like time is the limit for us, and this was an introduction session. And now we will be planning some in-depth learning session, how we can break into sessions, and what are the planning. So in the next session, we will be keeping you posted on the channels with the respective channels, and then we can form a batch and we can start learning something in detail directly
yeah,
from Prashant. Okay. So yes, that's fine. I know that we have not like looked into in detail for a technical aspect to just an overview, and people are quite experienced here, so they might have understand like what exactly we are trying to give this. And as
yeah.
we have not covered any technical things, so they might have not any questions. So probably yes, this was a very good call, this introduction call and a welcome call. And Prashant, I would like to thank so much from Hacknow and team that you came here over the weekend. You spent your 2 hours, and probably that's thank you so much, Prashant. Okay, and we will be again inviting you for the next sessions, and it will be a like very technical and useful sessions. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you. We have really appreciate your efforts that you have showcased your expertise, such a great expertise that you have in the ServiceNow ecosystem, and we will be connecting further again and again with multiple sessions, and we'll try to utilize and help people to grow along with us and become successful in their professional life of service now. Okay. All right, guys. So we can wind up. I know it's a weekend, so I don't want to hold anyone here for the longer time. So you can enjoy your weekend. And yeah, looking forward for the next call then. Okay. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you
Have a nice
everyone for
day.
joining.